Prologue. For so many years, she was a mystery to me. A shadow slipping among bodies. A set of hands. A background fixture, dim and indistinct. Sometimes she read, seated upright on the white couch of her living room, her chin tucked, her lips faintly moving as her eyes swept across the page. But mostly she worked, leaning over steaming pots, her glasses fogged, her dark skin sticky with steam, or yanking weeds from among the hibiscus and azalea in the courtyard, or snapping peas at the kitchen table. When my brother and I visited, she didn't swoop us up in an embrace the minute we arrived and stepped out of the car and onto the hot Florida pavement. She didn't gush over how much I'd grown or hold me out at arm's length, studying my face, searching for changes, the way my grandfather, my Obaachan, did. She didn't play with us the way he did either. My grandfather would purchase masks for our visit, then hide and jump out to scare us wearing them. Our shrill screams would echo through the house, and we'd run away in delight. He gave us piggyback rides and romped around the living room. Obaachan, however, kept her distance, glancing up from her book as we raced by. If she called our house in Pennsylvania, whether in October for my mother's birthday or on Christmas afternoons, I would know her by her request to speak to my mother and by her accent, the intonation imposed from another language, the strange rise and fall of the syllables. But I didn't recognize her voice. We were at her house in Florida, standing in the hallway just inside the front door, when my mother first told me that my grandparents had spent 3 years in a concentration camp. I was 8 or 9 years old. It was summertime, oppressively hot and humid, and we were there for our annual visit. In the living room, my grandfather was chasing my brother around the couch, and in the kitchen, my grandmother was washing dishes. With furtive glances toward her parents, my mother hissed this information, softly, like a confession. Or maybe it was more like an apology. I didn't ask any questions upon hearing this news, I think because I was afraid of the way my mother's dark eyes looked at me solemnly, as though she were entrusting me with some grave secret. Or perhaps I was afraid of the answer, of the weight that the why behind this revelation might bring to my small shoulders. Whatever my reasons, all I knew at the time was that my Obaachan and Obaachan had been imprisoned for being Japanese, and I concluded from this conversation that there was something inherently bad about being Japanese, that there was something to be sorry about. Had my parents chosen to raise their family in Hawaii or California, where there are many people of Asian ancestry, or even in some urban area with general ethnic diversity, I may have been more likely to embrace my Japanese heritage.